We want our country back. How dare they call us far right? Who the hell are they to label the British people?
I think that this country's in danger, and we do live in a two-tier system. I think it's evident to see.
The fact that he's blaming a small minority of people is disgusting. It's racist.
How far is this country going to fall?
We've got to be proud of who we are, and we've got to be prepared to fight for our country.
So we're here in London today where multiple protests are going on. There's one behind me which is the march and the rally for Tommy Robinson. There is also a counter-protest which is happening to this with Stand Up to Racism. Today I'm going to be documenting everything that's happening around me and getting interviews from people with an unbiased perspective so that they are free to share their opinions exactly how they intend to. What does today mean to you?
Standing up for the British way of life.
Britain should be Britain in its own right. The people aren't put first. We are letting in people unvetted. If you go to a country and you ain't got a passport, you ain't allowed in. They come to our borders with no passports. Off, back. We don't know who you are. Our kids need safety. Our women need safety.
Today means a great deal to me because my late father fought 6 years during the Second World War for all. For this country now to be given over to every other person except the true English, Irish, Scottish, Welsh people.
I want my Christian country back. I think in 10 years' time, this country, we're going to be United Kingdom of Islam if people ain't careful.
I'm marching for our country, what it's being turned into over the last 15, 20 years. Corrupt government, and most of all, I'm here for Tommy, who's locked up for speaking the truth. Tommy Robinson.
So I just heard you chanting and getting really enthusiastic. What does today mean to you?
Today means to me to show the government that the British people have had enough, right? We are not going to take all this crap. They cannot do this to the British people. We want our country back. How dare they call us far right? Who the hell are they to label the British people? Why have they got Tommy in prison or arrested? He's done nothing wrong. Well, he has, actually. He's told all the British people what's really going on. And, of course, they don't want him doing that.
So I've just seen your sign about the Bring Back Rwanda. We're just wondering what your thoughts and feelings are about it all.
Well, I think it's a perfect deterrent. Because if you send everybody back or send them to Rwanda, then they've got to make the trip back knowing they'll just be sent back there again. So they're not going to make that trip back, are they? You know, we've got a completely different culture to a lot of these people that are coming into the country illegally. And that's the big problem, illegally. If I went to Australia, America or many other countries, you have to have a proper visa, even to go on holiday. So why should our borders be open just to allow anybody to come in?
We've just seen your sign, obviously. It says, stop the far left. They are the true fascists and racists. Could you expand on that a bit, please?
Aye, well, it seems to be that anybody that's got anything to say about illegal immigration, for example, seems to be getting branded a fascist or a racist. And as you can see, it's just a bunch of normal people here that are all standing together. We're not fascists, we're no racists. It seems to be the other side that's sort of targeting us. I was at the Glasgow demonstration last month, and the counter-protest, it was all stop the far right, stand up to racism and everything, and the hatefulness that they were throwing at us, the abuse, some of the things they were saying, they were attacking everybody for their appearance, really trying to wind everybody up, and that's what ended up happening. It worked, and everybody remained peaceful to start off with, but because of everything that was getting said from the counter-protest, just the abuse, basically, everybody ended up getting fed up with it and kicking off, so that seems to be the way the other side are.
So you're from Texas, right?
I came in from Texas, yeah.
So obviously we're being from Texas, what do you think about this?
I think it's an impressive exhibition of nationalism on this side. I know there will be counter-protests shortly. My concern for you guys is you lose freedom of speech ultimately. Just for perspective, show them what I'm standing on right now. I'm trying to do a little bit of a balancing act, so pardon my strained face, but I want everyone here to be safe. I want to preserve the freedom of peaceful assembly, freedom of speech, etc. I know that's a struggle right here, right now, and I'm praying for you guys.
How do you feel about the counter-protest that's going on?
Not be funny, they've only probably done it because the council's paid for a bus to get me here for free. We've all paid out of our own good hard-working money to get here.
Hopefully they remain peaceful as well, but for what I've seen, they're very hateful, very abusive, and just that's what I expect for them.
I don't believe this is racism. You know, on our last march we had blacks, Asians, Sikhs there. This ain't about racist. I was a child of the 70s, born in Greenwich. My friends are black, Indian. I don't see their colour, but what I do see is a culture that's coming into this country that don't like this country, hate this country, and these are the people we're protesting about.
Now that I had spoken to the people on the side of Tommy Robinson, it was time to go over to the other side. What does today mean to you?
Today means actually standing up against the far right who want to destroy our way of life and impose a very rigid idea of how they think life should be.
This is an opportunity to get out in numbers on the streets and show hopefully that there are more of us than there are of them.
It's about standing in solidarity with a movement which is about standing up against division and a blame culture, because there are so many things going wrong at the moment. It's true, it's undeniable. But to demonize and scapegoat a section of society that is not at the root of these problems, it's just wrong. And if we don't come together as a people, those people on the right-hand side are going to win.
We're coming out in huge numbers. We are protesting. It's been continuous now. The continuous hate, the division in our society is just too much now, and we need more now more than ever for our communities, for our people. Just send a message to the haters, please, to just get out. These are our streets, you're not welcome here. These are our streets.
Standing up against sort of gradual rise of fascism in this country and showing people that we will not tolerate fascism. We will not tolerate Tommy Robinson. See there you go in action. See that in action. See, we name and shame these people. We would name and shame these people, because at the end of the day, we can't allow history to repeat itself.
Coming out here, standing in solidarity with thousands of people against Tommy Robinson, against his supporters. I fundamentally believe these supporters have been brainwashed by people like Tommy Robinson, by people like Nigel Farage. I have no particular malice towards them, but I'm here to demonstrate against them and show them why it's important that we don't hold these beliefs, why we welcome refugees.
We want to say that we're ready to come out and defend our communities against the violence, the racist hate, the attacks on Muslims, on refugees, on their accommodation, and so on. We want to say that this is our country, that these are our streets, and that we will protect each other, that we don't stand for this narrative, that they don't represent the majority of us.
I went to a vigil for Black Lives Matter when Chris Carver died. It was one of the most moving things I've ever been to, mainly because I realised that before that I believed, as a human being, I felt racism like black people do. But I realised that day we don't. It's far deeper for black people than it is for white people.
Obviously there's Tommy Robinson's movement and march happening over there. How do you feel about that happening today?
Obviously people are entitled to express their opinions. I think it's important to express that there's many more of us who do not share that opinion.
I'm aware that he got arrested last night, and I think that's probably swelled their numbers because they'll view him even more as a martyr now. I think we're actually according him too much importance as a person, and that we should look more at the particular malaise that springs from, that so many people are so full of hate.
The fact that he can march almost unopposed behind a banner that says London, not London Stan, is disgusting. It's racist. The fact that he is pushing the problems that we are having, the real problems that we are having about the cost of living crisis, austerity, housing issues, and so on. The fact that he's blaming a small minority of people over the people who are really causing that, and that's the Tories and the Labour Party, is absolutely shameful, and that's why I think it's really important that we stand out here.
Dreadful, absolutely dreadful. He's obviously a fascist. He's obviously an establishment puppet that distracts from their failings. Another thing about Tommy Robinson, you'll never see him protesting or complaining about the wars that caused the refugees.
Words are deluded, and I don't think they actually know what they know what they're saying, as far as I'm concerned. The right side of history will not be the right, it will be the left.
I find it disgusting, I find it confusing. I try not to blame them. I'm very aware that people are fed up with the political system. That's why I think centrism is not the answer to these issues. You need proper fundamental change. I think it's a shame that they can say what they say unopposed, without any resistance. The fact that we can't even get close enough so that we can drown out their documentary and so on.
After interviewing some people on this side, things began to kick off. First of all, Tyler was kicked out.
That's me. I really hate you. I knew you were going to say that. Cheers, cheers.
Your video,
huh?
Fuck off. Shooting immigrants was genuinely.
What do you opposed to in the sense of him sharing that is the law now? What do you think? Okay, so all right, it's good. All right, I'll walk away. Let me walk away.
Nazi scum! Off our street! Nazi scum! Off our street!
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm a non-violent guy.
Turn it off.
Why do I have to turn it off? Where's my freedom of speech? What have I done?
Fuck off.
Talk to you? Is this not fascism? All right, that is fascism right there.
Goodbye.
I can do anything.
Yeah, but goodbye. Let's go.
After that, Mayor Tusi made an appearance, and this is what happened.
Shoot yourself like Adolf Hitler! Shoot yourself like Adolf Hitler! Say it loud! Say it clear! Refugees are welcome here! Say it loud! Say it clear! Refugees are welcome here! You were told! You were told! You were told in the cabinet to start burning this planet to the ground! You're fucking told! Police protect the Nazis!
So you were just thrown out of there. They were literally telling you to yourself.
Yeah, they shoot yourself. Yeah, they shoot yourself like Adolf Hitler. But that shows the tolerance or lack of tolerance on that side, unfortunately.
Immigration and refugees is a topic that is very current and common amongst both sides. So I decided to tackle this head on and see what arguments were being made on each side. There are a lot of them were complaining about illegal immigration. How do you feel about that?
I feel there shouldn't be any such thing as illegal immigration. I feel that ideally people should be able to live in whatever part of the world they want, so long as they are prepared to keep the law and pay their taxes.
You cannot put other people first before the British people when it comes to housing, schooling, everything. If you've got a war in your country and you're scared for your life, boom, come over, mate. Come over. But don't come over and give me the documentation, and then expect to get everything before we do. You choose to come here illegal and then get rid of your documentation. I'd like to see us do it to their country and get what and then see what they give us.
We've got to stop the influx of these people coming into the country without going through a proper process. And the bottom line is, it's about money. It's financial gain they are coming here for. If you're going to say to somebody, come to our country, we will give you a hotel, we will give you a phone, and we'll give you money and heating and all the rest of it, why wouldn't you? When I was 19, I slept in my car for 3 years, get a deposit to buy my first house. Nobody gave me some heating when I was freezing my nuts off. Sorry, I shouldn't use that, but freezing in my car. It was a convertible, by the way, a 1960s car. No, there was nothing. You had to work and graft, and it's all too soft. It's all too easy, and that's the problem. It's not about colour. It's not about religion. It's about the influx of people who are illegals, and they're coming this way because they probably wouldn't get in otherwise.
The boats aren't doing anything bad. Refugees aren't doing anything bad. The boats aren't doing anything. They really shouldn't be protesting against that.
Do you feel that illegal immigration is an issue or not?
I mean, if the rich actually, if we got money, if the government actually cared, then it wouldn't be an issue at all. And it shouldn't be an issue. And I don't hear them all. They're welcome here. They absolutely are welcome here. They are not an issue.
We're meant to be a welcoming country. Our country is built on immigration. Our NHS is run because of immigration. This survived because of immigration. How many of those people have been using the NHS for the past 20 or so years or more? All of them, every single one. That's why the NHS is so great. And yet it wouldn't have survived, our industry wouldn't have survived, this country wouldn't have survived without immigration.
I've been following Tommy for 10 years, right? People said he was racist. Oh, listen, our country, I'm not racist. My best friend is black, right? What's going on is bad. All we want is our children safe. That's all we want. No Sharia law. That's what they want. And that's all. We're not racist people. We're the best people. Golden English people.
When I went to Bromley the other day with my friends, a Palestine woman walked past and she tried to trip me up and then started laughing. She was with her daughter. I just left it and just walked on because I was scared. But these are the situations that we're going through and it's scary. I've never ever experienced anything like this. And now you've got all the gangs, drugs. It's just scary. Half of it you don't hear on the media.
I'd just like to read them what it says on my placard. My doctor, my dentist, my optician, the hospital staff who fixed my leg and delivered my babies, the care home workers who will look after me when I'm old, most of my local shopkeepers. What do they have in common? They are migrants, and London and this country would collapse without them.
So obviously I've just seen that you've got the French flag, so you've come from France to be
Yes,
here
we're
today.
coming from France for the protest of today. Today is very important because we're facing the same problems in France. We want to show some solidarity for the English people, for the fight for their country, because we're facing the same thing in our country. It's mass migration that's causing a lot of problems of insecurity. There should not be such migration in European countries.
That they don't know what the real threat is. They are welcoming more refugees can come in. Okay, if they want more refugees, put them in your house. They are putting in the hotels. It's costing £150 per day for one refugee. First, government need to give accommodation to the native British who are on the street, sleeping on the streets. Our veterans who want good houses, they got nothing. But the illegal immigrants getting everything as soon as they step in this land without vetting them who they are. We need to wake up. That's the thing. Stop illegal immigrants. If they're coming, throw them out straight away.
And how do you feel about those who are saying that illegal immigration isn't a real thing and that people should be wherever they want to be?
So why are people dying on the channel then? Do you know, why are people coming in and dying on? We don't want them to die. We don't mind them coming here, but repatriate yourself afterwards.
I want the boats to stop. Our prime position of anything is stop the boats now. I know everybody's saying, oh, these poor refugees. That geezer who's just and killed that lady over a packet of biscuits. How's that work out? How can somebody who hasn't got a passport arrive here and go into a five-star hotel? That's just... can somebody explain that? Our veterans are sleeping on the streets. That can't be right.
We hear a lot of these people stop the boats. You also hear people justifying it with, we care about these people, we don't want them coming over on the channel, we don't want them coming over in boats. Make safe routes of travel then. People won't have to come over on boats if they're safe routes of travel.
So it's clear that both sides have very different views on this topic. But what about our current Prime Minister and the government? How do they feel about that?
And what the government's doing is absolutely atrocious.
That was going to be my next question, what you think about Keir Starmer and the current government.
Mate, I once voted Labour because it was being run correctly, the country was doing well. But what they've come in and done, stopping the old people's heating, opening the floodgates, and mark my words, he's going to release all those illegal asylums. He's just going to go sign it off and they're going to be released into society. They won't be properly vetted. He's all spin, he's all talk, and it's not the right sort of talk that we need in this country. He's been dishonest to win the election, and I really wish him, well, the whole party to be kicked out because they've been greedy and they're making people, poor people, suffer. And that can't be right. I believe Tommy Robson's been released, which is a good thing because I think he was a political prisoner. I think the rioters, putting to one side the vandalism, most of them have been put in for political reasons. When you've got other nationalities, shall we say, who can walk around free that have done far worse, like beating up police officers, and in particular a policewoman. Those guys are still walking around free. That should have been a quick response as well. They should have been taken to court the next day and locked up. That's serious violence to our law enforcement people, and they don't deserve that. It's an unfair system. It is two-tier system, without a doubt.
And another thing, I reckon Conservative spent the last 14 years doing their very best to bankrupt the UK. Ow. Sorry, darling. Now Labour's finishing off the job. They want to bankrupt us so the New World Order can come in here and put their feet down and take over. It's not happening.
I wouldn't say a lot, but quite a few people were hopeful that Keir Starmer would offer something different to the last 14 years of the Tories that we've had, but they're not going to. In fact, I'm terrified because I know that they're going to let down people over and over and over again. They didn't vote against the 2-cap child benefit. They're implementing more austerity measures with the winter fuel payments, stealing from pensioners and working class people. And I feel like this is going to continue, that they're saying the same racist narrative about refugees and strengthening our borders when that isn't going to fix the problem. That isn't going to fix the problem while they continue to support a genocide in the Middle East, while they continue to support war between Russia and Ukraine, while they continue to support these crises. They're going to continue letting working class people down, robbing from them, stealing from them.
Keir Starmer just gave £87 million away to Africa, and yet he stopped the people getting a warm payment. And Starmer is a traitor. He sold us down the river.
Don't look around you. You'll just see symptoms. You won't see the real issue. You always need to look above you. You need to look at what's causing these issues, what's causing this rhetoric to be spread, what's causing this division. It's years of corporations praying, the media working together complicitly to spread these lies, because if people continue to look around them, look at the symptoms, look at refugees coming in and blame them, that's great for the media, that's great for corporations, that's great for politicians, because then they aren't looking above them at them.
They've just dictated, that's all they are doing. They're a dictatorship, totalitarian government.
Do you feel that there's two-tier policing going on within the country?
Without a shadow of a doubt. You know, you got that Labour councillor has just been remanded, hasn't he? Been let free on bail. Tommy Robinson comes into the country, locked up. You know, how crazy is that?
What's your opinion on Keir Starmer?
He's a wanker, mate. One big wanker.
I feel like if there is any similarity between the people over there and the people over here, it would probably be the distrust of Keir Starmer and the government.
100%. There's a similarity. But what they base their distrust on in channeling it to ordinary working class people, refugees, migrants, Muslims, the fact that they're blaming them instead of actually taking the government on and actually challenging them on the powers that they're giving to the police, on our right to protest, on our right to free speech. They're not blaming the right people. And I think we need to make that clear. We need to provide a real left alternative where we can take that anger and provide a politics of hope, not despair, not of hate, a politics of hope and love and solidarity, and one that is angry and take on Starmer, the government and the state.
It's absolutely disgusting what Keir Starmer has done, fast-tracking people into prisons and giving them absolute extortionate sentences when you get who don't get nothing. Just look at Hugh Edwards, that poor Peter Lynch. His crime was he called a police officer scum. That was his crime, and now the poor man's dead. There's no support, there's no justice in this country at all.
And do you believe there is two-tier policing going on in this country?
100% there's two-tier policing, without a doubt. You have to be absolutely blind with one brain cell to realise it's not two-tier policing. So if we just look at the two kiddies in Manchester, the Muslim brothers, you know, they're on video beating a police officer up, gashing her nose, breaking her nose, and yet they're not even been charged yet. Peter Lynch called an officer scum and he got 2 years, 8 months. The Labour MP, Jesse Jackson, he called for every right-wing person to have their throat is out on bail to January. Where is that not a two-tier system?
I'm a Christian pastor and I said God bless you, and I was arrested harassment in case anyone of a different race or belief system might be offended.
And how do you feel about what happened there and what it shows for the future of this country?
I think that this country's in danger. It's not the first time I've been arrested. I've been arrested for criticising some ideologies of Mohammed, which led me to be in fear for my life. I was proven not guilty in the British court. I'm pretty concerned as a dad. I'm a dad of 3 kids. I'm a Christian, I have values, but I shouldn't be arrested in the UK for saying God bless you. And we do live in a two-tier system. I think it's evident to see. And this is why people are standing up, but the media will not portray it that we are concerned dads.
We are sick and tired of the politicians what have been running this country. They haven't stopped none of the boat people entering the country. They've got no intentions of stopping them. They've stopped the winter fuel allowance for the old age pensioners. He's give the railway people a 15% pay rise. They're on about 80 grand a year, and it's a damn right disgrace. So let's get this bastard out of running this country, and let's put someone in who knows what he's doing and what the working class people want.
The left and the right, we have been gaslighted by the Conservatives and by Labour for about 25 years. Tony Blair started this.
The problem is they're not dealing with those issues. They're doing what is given to them in black and white to do. They're reading a book and going through that book. They're not doing what needs to be done for this country.
And what do you see as the solution?
Change.
And do you think we will achieve that?
We will. But we are stuck with this government for the next 4 or 5 years.
At this point, it was beginning to die down on both sides. People were packing up and getting ready to go home. So I decided to go back where I started the day and interview anyone who was still around. And how do you feel about what you have seen today?
I've been surprised. I've seen unity, people coming together, having love and respect, you know.
And do you feel like it's been a positive atmosphere?
100%, I feel like it's been a positive atmosphere.
People, everybody needs to open their eyes, all colours, because I keep on getting a hard time about coming to these marches, like saying, oh Maria, they're all racist and all that. And I'm like, they're not, they're fighting for everybody.
How do you feel it's gone today?
It's gone very peaceful. The establishment was thinking that people will do something silly, but it didn't happen. People came in, there was no Tommy Robinson, but they came here as Tommy Robinson and they did what needed to be done to make it country again. And it's a start and it's a long way to go.
If there's a message that you would like to give to anyone out there, what would it be?
Stand up and be counted. That's what you need. Stand up with Tommy. Tommy Robinson.
How did you feel when you were up there talking to the crowd of people?
I always love the crowd here. The day I came here, last 28 years, I never feel a racism. I'm being loved by all English people. They give me love with open arms. There were no racism with the English people. I did get racism by my own people.
And what would be your message for anyone who's watching right now?
Wake up. Wake up, stand for rights, don't be a slave. Because the threat is coming up. That threat will kill you. They'll knock your door, throw you out, your daughters, and government will not help you. Because there's not enough police in this country. Wake up now.
So obviously I can see you've got the Trump flag up here today. What does that mean to you?
Well, Trump's a patriot, he loves America. He loves Britain as well. I love Britain. I believe in everything he stands for, which is, he's a patriot. He believes in America. He wants to make America great again. And I love the guy. I think America's in a bad place. We are in a bad place. And I believe we could be in civil war very, very soon here. People don't understand it. We've got to be proud of who we are. And we've got to be prepared to fight for our country.